What's up, everybody? Can you guys hear me? Still a little under the weather this week, but today might be a short stream as well. I need to get some rest. I've been up almost 48 hours now. So, say hello, everybody in chat. Good to see Simple Man's here. Tony, hope you're doing good. Jamie Odell, yo. First time chatter, Hikoko Morky? Hikoko Mork? Yo, have we met before? Welcome to the stream. Carson McKinney, good to see you. Coming up towards the last few weeks of SCAD. Hope you're doing good. Say hello to the guys over there for me. Are you going to go to Japan with those guys later in the year? Don't they do a Japan trip every year? It's actually pretty good. I went on it once. Mr. Flowers, good to see you again, Mr. Flowers. Welcome back. El Cabong Inc. Good to see El Cabong. Thank you for the resub. Sub with Prime, 47 months. El Cabong, I believe, is one of our original subbers, or one of our original viewers. So thank you so much, El Cabong. It might just be me tonight too. So on stream, which is good. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. James Quo, good to see James Quo. What's up, Chain Gang? Dr. Midnight's here. Good to see Dr. Midnight. Hope you're doing good. Hope the family's well. Simple Man hearing hearing good. Okay. Beef Wellington. Beef Skellington. Man, my vision is. What's up, Beef? All right, so this was a piece we started last week. The Monkey Prince piece, Monkey King piece. It's actually Monkey King, not Monkey Prince. Decided to do the dim sum. We switched it over last week or the week before. We had mentioned that I was going to do maybe the market underneath the Manhattan Bridge. This is for an art exhibit at Pearl River, May 1st. Just finished, sent off to the printers. Another artist was supposed to do the dim sum. They did not do it. They did their own thing. So then I said I'd rather do the dim sum. And here we are. This was the sketch, the kind of the layout, the final layout. There was a rougher version of this. Let me see. I might have deleted it. I think I did. And then as we get in, you can see the line art. So this is the finished inks. And if you want to see the color, I tried uploading it onto the Discord. Oh yeah, there it is. So this is the ink. This is all drawn on Procreate. If you ever been to Dim Sum in Chinatown, I based this off of a couple of different restaurants. I didn't want to be one restaurant specific. You know, it's not like we're endorsing a specific restaurant, but you know. So this is there's Royal Seafood, there's 88 Palace, and Jingfeng. Jingfeng's no longer around. I think 88 Palace is closed. Royal Seafood, I believe, is the only one open that does the carts now. So you got the 5 members of the Journey to the West gang: Tripitaka, Pigsy, Monkey King, Sandy, and the White Dragon horse. And then you got all these servers. You always got the one guy that's that adds up your bill at the end of the meal by math, no calculator. And then all the ladies are like very disinterested. I like this lady the most. She's like, I can't wait to get off work. And then this version actually doesn't. Okay, here, and then I went ahead and added some extra clones in here. So you see, like, Pigsy here has like a gourd. Oh, fuck, I forgot to recolor the gourd. Has a gourd of liquor, and the monkey clones, the chibi monkey clones, are been mischievous. One opens up, and then the other guy's pouring it into a teacup. These guys are chasing after each other for a dumpling. This guy is trying to get onto the cart here. This guy's already eating a bunch of food. This guy here is already eating a bunch of food and is so full he's pretty much passed out. This other guy's trying to get in. These two guys are playing basketball, trying to throw food into Pigsy's mouth. While Pigsy's ordering 2 pan-fried dumplings or grilled dumplings, this clone is ordering 2 more for his buddies. I'm going to draw a tail on these guys. And then this guy's whispering dark secrets into Tripitaka's ears, tempting him to eat meat. Or seafood, at least. When he's a monk, he's supposed to be vegetarian. So there's going to be 8 artists involved in this, Jerry being the main organizer. And I don't know if I can announce the other artists, but it's going to be at Pearl River in New York City. So Jamie Odell or anybody else that's in New York City, May 1st, if you have some time, come on down. I'm not sure which location it's going to be at. I'm assuming there's a location in the outskirts of Chinatown, but they also have one at the Chelsea Market. So Jerry comes on later, then he'll confirm. But if not, check the news next week. We'll definitely have more info for you guys. Thank you for the kind words, Dr. Midnight. Family doing well. Get new clothes. That's good. Diet has gone down. All right. Well, that's a good thing, man. You know what I like to do is I get a lot of stuff on eBay now. If you know your size or you know the clothing, and like I don't know, like for pants, there was a period of time, and right now too, that for pants I was wearing a lot of golf pants, because golf pants, they're like very stretchy, for bigger guys, and whereas regular pants that are like linen or cotton or whatever, a little bit more restrictive. I'm always afraid that it might fit perfect, but if I bend down, or because I got a big butt, if I bend down or squat down or lean over, it might rip, right? But I found that like golf pants, because they're made mostly from kind of athletic material, it stretches quite well. And if you look at it, you can't tell, really. I mean, outside of if the logo is stitched on the back of the butt or something, can't really tell that it's a golf pants. Sometimes they have an extra, like a T pocket in the front, but anyways. Yojimbo's here. Good to see Yojimbo. Thank you. Yes, we are also on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Twitch, please go over, hit that link on the YouTubes, and then hit the subscribe on the YouTube. Here, just hit the follow on Twitch. But over there on YouTube, hit the subscribe. We're trying to get the numbers up there so that we can eventually, at some point, migrate over there. And then continue. That way, it'll force me to maybe like shoot some more edited content. Right now, we're just doing live streams. So There's really not a lot of time to do anything else. Uh, Thanks. So yeah, there's the mini chibi guys. They're kind of based off of the mini chibi monkey prince dudes. Um, these two are like my favorites. This guy right here. He's like his eating so much, his belly's sticking out from underneath his armor. It's got a little belly button. Or this guy, but I don't know. He's kind of drunk already. And so it's colored. It's up on. Let me see if I get the link. If I can copy the link. Copy message link. It's on the Discord. If you're on the Discord, we have a Discord. Post some artwork on there. Sometimes, usually it's before the. Mostly artwork I post on Instagram, but we can post it. Sometimes I post stuff that I don't post on Instagram on Discord, like sketches and other things. I believe we have Mr. Chen on the stream.
Hey, yo.
Yo, Mr. Chen, how you doing? Sean Chen, professional comic book artist.
I try to be.
So, Sean, do you have a link to your And then this is our other co-host, Butthead. See Butthead, he's very happy. He has a belly full of seeds right now. You didn't hear him earlier because he was busy eating. Sean, you click on a link to to my dim sum piece.
Oh, it's in the Discord?
It's in the chat. I put the link in the chat.
Oh, okay.
D. Rogers, good to see D. Rogers. Resubbed 56 months. Oof. Wow, thank you so much, D. Rogers. That's that's longer than most relationships. So, is D. Rogers on a plane tonight, though? That's the question. D. Rogers has been known to watch the stream on a plane. And from my understanding, I have not flown yet, and recently in the last month or so. But American Airlines now offers free Wi-Fi online when you're flying. So is that true? Yeah. So Sean, this is my.
Yeah, I don't get the link. The link doesn't come up with anything, so I'm gonna have to go to it on my phone.
It should. I clicked on mine. It came up. Let me see.
Oh wow, it's like a horizontal. It's like a friggin' panoramic.
Yep.
Wow. So, you're still, it's done, right? So what do you have there? You're still working on it?
Oh, no, it's done. Well, the finished piece is on Discord. I colored it on my Cintiq at home. I didn't color it on my Procreate, on my iPad. There's a brush in Photoshop that I like much better than in Procreate. And then the other thing is, if anyone here uses Procreate a lot, I find that a lot of times I'm doing something, or there's some setting where I'm drawing it, and then all of a sudden, if I move my hand out, it deletes that action without me actually physically deleting it. And it might be a setting. It might be a setting on the pen. I don't know what it is, but it's extremely frustrating because I'll end up drawing like a whole thing and then take my pen off and then go click something else, like switch colors or whatever, and then realize that it completely deleted what I just did. So James Cole, if you use Procreate or anybody else, let me know what I'm doing or a setting that I'm doing that would be helpful. Sean, anything going on in the comic book industry today, this week?
Oh, I don't. Probably more like drama with Diamond and who's buying it. That's probably the big thing.
There was someone else was buying it, but then it's not happening, or?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all like very the non-creative side of the business. I just don't really care to follow. Wow, this drawing's really cool. It's got like so many Easter eggs in it. I love the attitude of all the dim sum ladies that have that kind of like they're like older and very jaded. Like
Yep, that's
they're
the whole
just
thing
kind of
about
like
the dim
sick of
sum
their
ladies.
job.
Yeah, there's no, all the dim sum ladies. They don't really want to be there. They just, and they don't even want to. They don't want to serve you. They just, you know, they almost despise you. You've been, at
Like
least that's
every
my,
single one of them has that jaded, like side eye look. Or
yeah.
something.
And then you notice like when they're serving the food, the ladies, their thumbs are all touching the food. So um,
Oh, this must have taken forever. This has so much stuff in there.
I've
This
been
is
up
like a
over 2 days working on this nonstop since Sunday
wow.
morning, like early
Holy
Sunday
cow!
morning.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, we did the
So
layouts last week, but
yeah,
I wasn't able to
you
touch it
went
during the week.
all out on this thing.
I thought it would take.
Wow.
I thought it would take a day and a half, and it took almost. It took 3 days. So
You're drawing like 100 different separate objects in here, which is I don't know. I think some artists probably try to get away with just doing a standing figure with no background.
well, some artists didn't do a background. Um, yeah, but this was the, you know, the one easy thing, or I shouldn't say easy, but the one thing about Procreate was that I was like the pans that were the pots and the bamboo things. Um, I only have to draw like a couple of times and then I copy pasted.
Oh,
Right.
really? But the perspective still works then?
It's a little fudged, and I mean, as I would copy paste them, and then as they move down the piece, I would expand them a little bit bigger. So
Yeah, because this drawing has an ellipse nightmare. Like I think you can only draw like so many ellipses
yeah,
in a day before you
this
can't do anymore.
this
So
one plate is off right here. This one plate is off, but all the other ones kind of match. And then,
yeah,
but as I copy pasted and got more, as they moved further down the piece, I just made them a little bit bigger because it got closer to us, right? Or got closer to our point of view. So plates further back are a little bit smaller, incrementally, 5-10%. Um, but it makes it work. This is right here. On the left is a little off, but I think when it's colored, it doesn't. There's just there's so much going on that it's hard to pinpoint.
yeah. I mean, a big
fault.
part of this drawing is chaos, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to get too accurate with all the ellipses anyway, because then it can look too like diagrammatic.
Right.
Like I think one thing people don't know about ellipses is like when you draw, like the closer they are to us, it's not only they get bigger, but the percentage gets bigger. So like when it's right in front of us, that circle is a 60-degree ellipse. But when they're in the far background, it becomes like a 40 or 30-degree.
Yeah.
So you really can't just copy paste everything because it gets shallower.
It's thinner. Yeah, thinner and smaller. Right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the ellipse gets flatter. So yeah, and that's the real pain, unfortunate fact of real life.
On the bamboo cartons, I did draw each of the individual lines on the inside, but the outside core was just one that I copy pasted. But then these inner lines that represent each bamboo stroke or piece, I drew because I felt like I needed to have like an organic feel to it. That it wasn't copy pasted. If it was copy pasted, it would be just, you could tell right away because there's so many of them. But there needed to be some slight imperfections.
Wow. I think it would have been good if you had this one done first, because you do it and then all the other artists see it and they're like, well, I don't want to be shown up by this. I mean, I kind of like have like this idea you're going to try to get by with something easy, but then like you put out something like this and then it raises the game, and then Jerry gets a lot of good work for free because everyone's they don't want to be like left in the dust, right?
Well, I guess. I mean,
cool.
I thought I was going to be able to finish it earlier, but I mean, we started on this like 2 weeks ago with the under the Manhattan Bridge, but I just couldn't get that. I couldn't wrap myself around that. This was an easier concept to kind of get because I've already done it before, but this is a slightly different version than what I did before. The horse and Sandy are like two of my favorite characters because you can kind of see like a little bit different characteristic, personality. The horse is just happy to be included in the meal. You know, usually horses are left outside.
We see that emblem on in Morocco. What is that? The hand
A
thing
lotus?
decorated.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you can buy those in Morocco in the souk.
Yeah, this one, right. This one's a lotus. This one's like a, I don't know, eternal palm. I'm just making
Right.
that up.
Cool. I think the great thing about stuff like this, since it's not a comic book, so it's just one image. It's like 11 by 17,
Yeah.
and when you put it up there, there's not a ton of people in the show. So when they get there, it's good to be able to, like, sometimes you look at a drawing, you're like, ah, I got it. You know, it's one figure, and then you move on. But this one, if there's like kids or whatever, and they can kind of get lost in it and try to search out like all the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then,
that's the whole point. Let me see if I can airdrop the finished piece onto. So this is the finished piece, colored.
So much going on. Yeah, definitely this is done by someone who just knows the culture and knows the situation, because it's just full of like the attitude and that face, like all the women's faces. I've seen them all kind of like doing that job that way.
Like this lady.
And that waiter who gives you as little time and attention as possible, like the waiter who just tallies it up. Just
this guy, right?
It's just he's always in a hurry. He's got 1,000 things to do, and just gives you no time at all.
Yeah, he's a math genius. Usually they, here's the thing: when you go to a dim sum, they give you like a little chart, and then every time you order something, the ladies put a little stamp on the chart, and then he just adds that up, in his head, and writes an amount that you're due. But this is like, you can tell this is kind of like a newer lady. Still not, already has the attitude. I didn't put any names on the name tags though. That was the. And then she's flipping the guatiers, the fried gyozas. These are like the two chibi clones. They're playing basketball by throwing the piece of food into the pigsy's mouth.
Oh wow!
This one was my favorite clone. There's one he's already eaten so much, his belly's sticking out, and then the other guy's trying to climb into the bamboo canister to eat some more, but lo and behold, it's all gone.
We should try to get Jerry to see if he has any contacts. Like, I mean, those businesses, if they want to put this up as a mural, like, because all you gotta do is show them an image, and then you hire these mural painter people that just kind of like put it up on the side of a building.
The Pigsy in the story is technically he's black. He has like black hair. But in popular media, he's drawn as like this funny, cutesy pig, like a pink pig. But in the book, the original book, he's a black bristles. So I call him Pigsy Bristle. So, Fletch is not here today, but he would have loved this. Fletch has a real passion for dim sum. So here's a lady. See, the lady's taking out the those rice dough rolls with rice noodle rolls with shrimp inside, and her
shrimp rice noodle,
and her thumb is touching one of them. And then this lady.
You ever been to one of those places where they count the dishes instead of using the tally? They just
they leave all the dishes here. They count them up.
Yeah, they count the dishes to do your check, and then sometimes people try to like put the dishes underneath the table. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to color this green. Fuck.
What's green?
This was supposed to be green right here. This
oh yeah, that's the one dumpling that has the green skin.
Well, it has a banana leaf wrapping on it. So.
Oh, okay. It has like rice inside.
This is your sticky rice inside. This is your dessert tray. There's all these different kind of desserts.
That weird gelatinous triangular cake.
The rice cake. Yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
semi-sweet rice cake. There's some other Jello, some kind of pastries, rice bun. There's a brown rice bun. Some more egg tarts. These are some other shui jiao. Shui jiao. It's kind of has meat inside. These two. This one has taro inside.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite lady. I don't know. She looks like an aunt, like a real auntie. Boondock Breezy, first time chatter. Welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit that follow button on Twitch. Trying to get and the YouTubes. Get the YouTube and the thumbs up for the algorithms. This is the horse.
Yeah, I can totally see people, like, especially if they're kids, they can look at this for like a good half hour.
Yeah, the horse, and then you got like two other chibi clones playing catch with the extra dumpling.
Yeah.
This guy, since he's a sea demon, Sandy. I think what was Sandy's thing was he was trapped in the sea, and he would eat passerbys that would try to cross his sea, his old little river or whatever. And
you got one big eye, one small eye, just like Egg Chan.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a skull, like a necklace of skulls. I forgot the color of this piece right here on the back. So
this has so many elements. I'm surprised that you managed to color most of everything.
Yeah, I mean this one, I had colored originally colored him regular, but then I decided to go instead of going with the kind of the popular usage is that he's really usually portrayed by a human actor, so his like skin is regular human skin. I figured, okay, I'll try to go a little bit more with the regular OG version according to the book, and he has like red hair, so it's a combination of both, a lot of different things. It's not 100% accurate, but here like one of the chibi clones is opened the gourd to the wine, and they're trying to pour out some wine to enjoy that. And the chibis also are a little bit more, drawn animated, but I don't have them rendered, so they're like almost illusions, like digital optical illusions. And then this lady here, she's like completely checked out.
That's the best lady.
She's like, whatever. You guys want anything? And then Pigsy, again, this is all before they finish the Journey to the West. This is on their way. So, and I figure Pigsy, he's kind of like the guy that's a little bit more about gluttony, So, he's got like a gold chain. I was thinking about putting something in the gold chain. I think that would have been cool if I had some kind of dangling big medallion thing, but he's got like some headphones, got like a gold Apple Watch, got a pinky ring, and it's kind of like an old Mets jersey, but I didn't bother writing New York in there because there's already one New York on the Monkey King, so I don't want to blow it up to New York. Plus, you have the kind of the NY on the cap, so it's already kind of there. And then the background was easier. It was just shapes with a filter.
Yeah, that's cool. That's that kind of wallpaper.
Yeah. So I was thinking that I was gonna draw the background in there, but then it's just like, man, that's gonna take another half day to do. To draw.
Well, what would you have put back there? Because it's very busy up front, so maybe like to calm it down, just to leave it open. And
yeah,
I think it's a great treatment.
I thought, again, I made just shapes of other tables, possible tables. You can kind of see it. And
oh yeah.
I was gonna put like a window back there, as if it's the front of the restaurant.
It does kind of read like a cityscape back there, also, yeah. Subliminally.
So, we'll see.
Well, it's about as good as you like. You can't lean on marquee characters like Batman or Spider-Man. I don't know why would anyone want to buy just a random picture, but this is as good as you can get. You take away those big Marvel or DC characters. It's got a lot of fun in it, and it's just very lively.
Yeah.
I think it should do pretty well.
So it's like these guys, on their journey to the West, they made it to New York. So Tripitaka is wearing the I Love New York, like a tourist T-shirt, just to kind of blend in. Here's another mistake. This piece should be blue. Oy.
Jeez, you can't really tell.
Well, that's the thing. You always see stuff. I try to sit on a piece.
You turned it in already, right?
Huh?
You turned it into Jerry already?
Yeah, because it's late. They needed it yesterday or the day before. So
I remember in the initial email it says like March 31st, not April 1st. So it sounded pretty serious. So.
Well, what day is it today? April 8th.
Here you go. But hey, it's worth the wait because I think without this, it just takes this takes time. I look at it, I get a headache just as an artist, just knowing how much work goes into it, and then also logistically, everything in perspective, and then all the people from this view is the most difficult angle to draw. And then there's things like a horse at the table. I think the horse at the table, just knowing I have to draw that, will probably keep me up at night because I don't know logistically how to do that.
Well, that one just kind of made it up. This is based off of Demon Knights. I just made up the horse. I didn't really. I remember the horse has usually the horse has a muscular chest. A horse does,
Oh, yeah.
The arms, they have like a extended ankle or wrist kind of thing. I gave him horseshoes. I don't know how accurate that would be. I was thinking about other stuff to add to him, but I just, ran out of time.
Well, he has so much stuff already, so he did not cut any corner on this drawing, for sure.
In the shadows, I tried to add some texture to his skin to give it a little bit more like fur. Right? You can see that, and that's done in the shadow area.
Oh wow!
So, that's it. I don't know. They got the duck feet, got the Chinese broccoli, got a Shanghai pan-fried bun, got some of this tofu roll, veggie dumpling. This is the shumai.
That's great. This is egg roll, it's sort of like your magnum opus, right? Because it's, whatever you do that kind of defines you as an artist would be a scene like this with that subject matter. It doesn't really have so much basketball in it, but it just seems like this is like probably the piece that kind of like sums up your entire art journey so far.
Yeah,
you should blow it up, and make it blow it up big in your studio.
Yeah, Monkey King's wearing a basketball jersey. That's Jerry's favorite player, John Starks.
Wow. That looks a lot of work there.
I wonder, are they making... Can't believe I'm still sick. I wonder if they're making prints out of this. Do you remember?
Yeah, isn't that... I think so, yeah, because they're making... there's a set of 10 that he's going to make it at the very least. And these are for sale as prints.
Oh, but are they blowing them up to make a wall, or are they just blowing them up to hang?
Well, originally I thought it was going to be like the wall thing, but I think what he said was they're going to be prints.
Oh, okay.
But you never know. I think the right person comes by when they see this. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good selfie wall. So someone should blow it up.
All right. Well, there it is.
You saw it here first. You saw the process.
It went from the underneath the Manhattan Bridge to inside of a restaurant. So what should we draw today? I was thinking I can work on a cover. Doing some covers. I got Power Man stuff I got to work on. Or should I do a sketch that we can give away? Is there a character in the news that's getting a lot of play? You guys know? Anybody in chat want to suggest? This other piece came out this week. This piece with the Alfred and the Bat family. Simple Man suggests the Predator. Let me get like 4 or 5 suggestions. I'll create a poll from chat, and then you guys can vote on that.
I like how you resisted drawing Jerry or Fletch in your piece.
In which piece? The dim sum
the
piece?
The dim sum, yeah.
I was going to draw everybody in the background. You know? I was thinking, okay, I'm going to draw everybody. I'm going to draw like you. I'm going to draw like Jerome, everybody, right? But then I'm like, man, I just got I got to turn this in because I know Jerry's upset. It's late. Terminator says D. Rogers. Absolute Batman says Fart Trauma.
Hush. Yes.
Hush?
James
Okay.
Quo said.
Hush. But Hush would just be Batman, right? Isn't Hush the bad guy? Or is there a different... All right, I mean, I'll put it in the poll. Sean, you got any suggestions?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on now in comics.
Okay, what to draw? I'm going to do cover. I'm going to do Predator. Terminator.
Terminator.
D. Rogers said, didn't D. Rogers said Terminator?
Yeah. Is there something happening with Terminator?
Hush. And one more. Is there another one? I can't see the chat right now because
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay.
Isn't there a super hot character with Minecraft? I bet if you draw that super hot character, you would probably get a lot of hits. Maybe it's some sort of chicken or something.
Okay. Well, Minecraft is one of them. Poll is up. You got 2 minutes. You can use your channel points to vote in chat. There's a new Terminator video game. Hush is the bad guy, Tommy. Yeah, he's the guy with the wrapping around his head. The mummy. Mummy looking dude.
Are you going to be anywhere for Free Comic Book Day?
No. Why?
Now, those guys at Baltimore Comic Con, those people asked me if I would go. But I'm already spoken for on Long Island.
Mark Nathan?
Yeah. But I mean, you're all the way in LA, so I don't know how that works out. But they said they would cover for the hotel and travel for me, which I think is crazy because do you really make that much money on Free Comic Book Day that you can actually bring an artist in?
Well, how much? We got about like 30 seconds left in the voting, and Terminator's up. Well, they would just buy you a ticket from New York, right? So that's like $100 round trip. How much is the train ticket?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would have driven anyways, but the hotel though, I mean, who puts people up for a Free Comic Book Day?
That's one
but
night.
It's really generous of them.
A couple $100, $200, $300.
But yeah, I told them I couldn't do it, so they're probably still looking for people.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably the New York area, Northeast area. You can probably get a couple commissions while you're there too. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, it looks like the Terminator won. D. Rogers.
Wow, you're gonna be drawing what I draw every day.
So, what is the Terminator game that comes out? Do you guys want to educate me on this?
Yeah, which version of the Terminator is it?
James Crow says we need another poll, either the T1000 or the T800.
So which one's which? I mean, there's that liquid metal gun guy, and then there's the regular Arnold guy.
The Terminator game that's coming out is a side-scrolling shooter. Let me see if I can. What if I pulled up a? Is there a YouTube? Terminator.
I'll bet if you drew that Minecraft character, though, you would get some, like, 10,000 likes.
Nobody, no, you didn't. Why didn't you vote for the Minecraft?
I don't think anyone. I don't even know which character it is from Minecraft, but I think there's one character that everyone's going crazy for.
Terminator game. Okay, is this Terminator 2D? No Fate official trailer. Is this it right here?
No Fate. That's what she carves into the picnic table with that survival knife.
I mean, we're pretty much going to be in the Terminator timeline.
Any questions?
How did you become the Capital One Bank guy?
I've always been passionate.
Get this sound off. This AI thing is going to take over. I mean, there's no need for anything after a certain point. You know, even military, you don't need to have like soldiers. You just send robots in there.
That's one of the reasons why we have the huge national debt.
I don't think this is it, man. Is this it?
Yeah, it must be because it's a side-scrolling game.
This says that the game is releasing September 5th. I thought they said it's coming out this week.
Yeah, it's a little vintagey, and also all those little video clips, the segments, are like greatest hits from the movies.
So it is it. Okay. Oh, Jimbo has a. Is this the same link?
There's something big.
It's the same link. Okay.
It'd be great if you could draw the Robert Patrick guy. That'd be very easy.
Draw the what?
That one that's liquid metal. That's very easy, so there's no mechanical stuff. It's like you're drawing Silver Surfer.
This looks like a game that would be on the phone. I don't know if I had a PS5, I would like. Why would I buy this if I had a PS5? I guess they're really.
Well, it's retro style.
Yeah, they're really trying to bank on that retro. But retro style, I mean, that's like putting regular gasoline in a Lamborghini. I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be fun. Okay, so retro is in style. Terminator. Arnold. Well, why don't we draw Patrick, his son, from White Lotus? Have you seen that?
I don't have HBO.
His son is in White Lotus. You know, have you heard about all the rage about White Lotus? This is gonna get us
Yeah, well,
TOS. Huh?
I wish I could see it because people talk about it. It's like very salacious.
His son has a scene in
Crazy
there
stuff
where it's incestual, where the brothers get.
Oh wow! Is it his sister?
No, it's a brother on brother.
Oh,
Somebody write it. Somebody write the ending in, or not the ending, but what I'm trying to get at in chat. Yeah, and then there's the whole scene with, who's the guy again? Oh man, I forgot the actor's name. But he's also in the Righteous Gemstones. I started watching the Righteous Gemstones. Man, that show is hilarious. That's another HBO show with Danny McBride. Danny McBride is hilarious.
You know that who was this? I think it was Kanye West. What was, you know how he's kind of like a narcissist. He wanted to make a biopic of his life, and he chose Danny McBride to be the person that plays him.
Kanye West?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
and they hung out a lot. Yeah, Kanye West is a huge Danny McBride fan, which is really strange because it's so funny sounding. And they spent a lot of time together, and he chose him to play him in his biopic.
I mean, how are they going to get around the skin color thing? Isn't that a slight issue?
I guess so, but you know, Kanye, it's either mental illness or he's a genius. So
It could be a little bit of both. Never either or. We don't live in a black and white society, Sean. I don't know. All right. Has chat decided which? Do I need to make a poll, or we can just kind of do it over the?
what is the difference between the two?
The two what? Well, I'd rather draw Arnold.
The T. Yeah.
Right.
And
If I draw Arnold, should I draw Arnold pixelated? I mean, it's like a Minecraft and slash
but how
Arnold.
do you draw pixelated?
I would draw it and then run it through a pixelated, run it through a filter in Photoshop. D. Rogers, yes. Okay. Let me sketch on the back real quick. What should I do? Like a headshot? What have we seen before already?
I once drew that Arnold, and it's the you know, when you were at a convention and you leave a table. So I put a plaque there that says that you'll be returning. So I drew Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I wrote, "We'll be returning soon."
Is it up on your Instagram? Can I take a look at it?
Somewhere way back there on my Instagram. But everyone who looks at it, they're really puzzled and say like, "You should have written, 'I'll be back.'" And I'm like, "Oh, dang, that would have been perfect." And then the next person comes by and says the same thing.
Don't they get that it's a joke?
No, it's either mental illness or genius.
I think I should draw half Arnold, half the Terminator face, right? Like it's being ripped off. Because
Oh, we haven't seen that before. Like where it's half ripped off.
I mean, no, you.
It gets shot off, right? So there, but no one's ever done the perfect split down the middle.
Half. Perfect split
Yeah.
down.
Because he has taken he takes an X-Acto knife and he cuts parts of his body off in the movie. So.
Well, I was thinking more like not just half, but like it's being blown off.
Yeah.
But not more than just the eye. Usually it's just the eye, right? How long ago was this Terminator piece that you did? How far back do I have to scroll?
Oh, I don't know. There's no way. I mean, it's probably. I can probably dig it up, but.
Is it like years?
Yeah, he put it. You'll never be able to find it. I have like 3,000 pieces on my Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll never find it.
Can somebody in chat look for it, please? If you're not doing anything. Okay. If somebody
You might have to go back a few
it,
years. Yeah, it's just the Arnold face with a red laser eye.
Okay, then I can do some sketches here. While we're waiting for that to magically appear. I did a Google search, Sean Chen Terminator. It didn't come up. So, I guess a bust. This would be a bust.
Oh, another thing is, I put that drawing out. I stand it up. It's on a backing board, and I stand it up on my table, and I leave for a panel or lunch, sometimes for a couple hours.
Nobody takes it.
And I come back, it's still there, and it's been like 7 shows, and no one's just grabbed it.
Well, now that you said that, now it's gone.
Anyone can take it. I expect it to be gone, but it's always been there.
I'm sure somebody's drawn this version. There's been a bunch of comics out there, so.
Walt Simonson drew one of the Terminator comics.
So something like this, or we'll do a head. Like a head one where he's kind of turning around. We'll do this one. We're gonna do this one. This is my standard go-to headshot pose. Down 3/4. I guess the question would be how much of the face is blown off.
Yeah, he appears naked in the movie at some point, where you can see his bare ass.
I remember. Did you draw a naked version of him?
No, of Arnold. No. It'd be cool if you can draw him with his ass blown off, so that you can see the metal part.
That would require a full body shot. What are you, crazy? That would be funny though. Let that brew a little bit. It might happen.
Give me your clothes and your motorcycle.
Well, I could do. If I did a full body, it would be overlooking his shoulder. Right, something like this. You can see it. What do we call it? Deleted scenes? Outtakes?
Yes. And what does his robot ass look like, anyways?
Well, why do the ass? Why not just do the crotch? I mean, isn't that a little bit even more risque? That way, if I'm drawing the front,
Yeah, well,
and it's like a real muscular. I think that's what's funny about. Have you, anybody here watched The Righteous Gemstones on HBO? I used to not, I wasn't really into it because it was like a kind of a religious themed show. But I started watching it out of just curiosity. And every episode, there's nudity in every episode, but it's male nudity, which is like hilarious because it's such a kind of like the characters are preachers. But in every episode, there's I think in almost every episode, there's just full frontal male nudity. Whereas like, if you're watching any other HBO show, which is like, or Cinemax, there's usually like, it's usually the women that are naked. But in this show particular, it's almost all male nudity, full frontal. And like, what is the word? Gregarious? I mean, it's like right,
egregious.
It's like a close up, you know. Oh, Proton Factories says Righteous Gemstone is shot like 5 minutes from his house. Yeah, and the first season I think was the best. Second, they're in their fourth and final season now. And yeah, the first episode of the fourth season was Bradley Cooper. They did a period piece. It's pretty good. What about this, Sean? Where his nuts gets blown off. No? Can you see this?
Oh, I can kind of see that for the liquid metal guy.
The skin gets torn off. And then you just see what is the Terminator's nuts look like? I'm sure somebody has like a skeleton version. Well, what does chat want? What is chat like? I watch Vice Principals. It's funny. Yeah, it's the same two guys. What's the other actor's name that plays Billy Bob? Baby Billy. Is it Baby Billy? Uncle Baby Billy? Walton Goggins, right? Yeah, he's a really good actor. He's the one that's also in White Lotus. I mean, one of my favorite Danny McBride movies is Your Highness with Natalie Portman and who's the guy with the Meisner method? James Franco. Which one does chat like? I mean, I can do this. This one's kind of standard, but this one is this headshot piece. I could do this in about an hour. All right, I think I'm gonna do the headshot piece. All right, Sean. Don't be disappointed. Okay. I'm using an 03 pencil today. I'm living life on the edge. This could break at any time. I'm trying to keep a light hold on the lead. I believe this is a 2H lead.
2H. That's pretty hard.
Pretty hard. Trying not to get too deep or too dark with the pressure. I don't want to be. I know I'm going to be erasing. Right now, I'm just kind of laying down the groundworks for the kind of the sculpting out of the face, the features, where the eye line, the center line is going to be. You know what would help is if I pulled up some reference of Arnold.
You have no reference?
Arnold. Arnold as should I do young Arnold or old Arnold? Terminator. Or Governor Arnold. All right. This is a close shot right here. Oh, this is a CG shot. This one right here is quite better, but he's got sunglasses on. This one right here.
Well, you know, these movies, I don't know who wrote it, if it was James Cameron, but when they're writing the script, they're aware that like this line is going to be, it's going to sum up the movie, and people are going to be saying it every single day for months. So there's so many great one-liners in this.
I'll be back. Have a nice day. Hasta la vista. What does he say? I'll be back. Hasta la vista. What else?
Come with me if you want to live.
You know, Arnold has a very chiseled face. It should be fun to draw. This is almost a standard kind of comic book face. See if I can find one that's kind of at the angle.
You know, this the plot or the whole idea of Terminator, the first movie,
Yeah.
likely came from an old, was it Outer Limits episode written by, who's that fan? It was a famous writer that passed away. But I think if you go back to the original source, there's a lot of similarities. And it's a black and white, kind of like a Twilight Zone type TV show.
Yeah. He has a very protruding.
Harlan Ellison, yes. So it's basically an idea that was plagiarized from Harlan Ellison.
Yeah.
And even with like Avatar, I think there was lots of accusations of plagiarism. And then some of them, when you see the source material, come so close. Even like he didn't even change some of the names. Those just like similar names.
Really?
But then you don't hear much about this stuff because that they settle out of court. So that original like Russian author that wrote this sci-fi thing like in the 80s just really can't speak anymore about it.
They signed an NDA, got paid a fee.
Yeah, and then you just don't comment about it anymore, and then it goes away. Because I think that's best for everyone. It's a kind of a win-win. But then, as the creative, you're like, "Wow, he's a genius." Like, well, these ideas they come from
It's James Cameron,
And-
specifically. See, look at this. I made a mistake, and my hands, my left hand went like this to double tap. Fuck.
digital artist syndrome.
Fuck. It used to be this. It used to be Command Z. Now it's double tap. Oh man. Looking in my trusty art bag for my eraser. Here we go.
Speaking of like where ideas come from, someone was going through what was Carl from 24/7 Comics does this kind of Valiant rewind thing where he goes through some old episodes. So he has a bunch of guests on, and they were going through my issue of Ryan the Future Force.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, look at this over here. This mother god captures the citizens of this future city, and then puts them in these pods and uses them as batteries. And the pods, they're like in this kind of like football shaped orb that's full of jelly, and then they're in a semi-conscious state or like a fugue state inside there. And they asked me like, did I come up with that? It's like, I don't know if I think I was just drawing what the John Ostrander, the writer, described.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. And then And they said, like, this is like, did you get inspired by the Matrix? I go, yeah, it looks a lot like the Matrix. But then one of the people looked it up who was on the show, and the Ride in the Future Force came before the Matrix.
How early before the Matrix?
I don't know. Maybe someone can do the math. I'm really bad with dates, but Ride in the Future Force number 9 was probably sometime in the early 90s.
It had to have been 93, right? You started 92. We started 92. Did it come out in 92? At the end of 92? Or did it come out like January, February 93?
I never remember these things, but it would be one of those, 92, 93. But it really depends on when did the Matrix come out?
Yeah, when did Matrix come out? And then...
And also, is that something that's like, you know, I mean, is that a very common idea, like a trope, to have people as batteries put inside this jelly pods? Because if so, then we're just kind of all doing the same thing. Like we've seen that from an old Star Trek or something. Either that or, you know, those Wachowski brothers, they're big comic book people, and Steve Skroce, the artist, did a lot of the design work. So it could have just, I mean, at one point everyone had a copy of Ride 9 because so many were sold. So who knows?
900 something thousand, right? And change.
Yeah, so it could have been something that they saw and then kind of just gave them that idea, and then it kind of looks very similar to what I drew. It could be that, or this is just one of those sci-fi tropes that it's just everyone does.
Well, if they did it, what? Somebody come up with the
Yojimbo said 1999 is when the Matrix came out.
Oh, so 93, so 6 years ahead. So it is possible, because can people, someone in chat, find out when Matrix was greenlit?
Yes.
And that'll kind of give you an idea of when pre-production started, which is concept designing phase. Because concept designing phase is going to happen like a couple years before they start shooting. A year or so at least before they start shooting. A year to shoot, a year to edit or promote, and then...
Right. But the real question is, like, if someone copied someone, did they copy what I did, or did I copy what they did?
Did you copy somebody else?
Then I would have to see the pre-production stuff. So,
well, when you were working on it, you know what you should do is, can you bust out the script?
No way.
Can you find the script? If you can find the script, I think that solves everything. I mean, Ostrander is not around anymore, right?
Yeah, I don't even have a copy of that Ride 9, but I mean, they showed it. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that when I drew it, it kind of looks kind of similar. Oh, so Jeff Darrow did the concept art.
Uh-oh.
So we can just ask.
Yeah, let's go ask him.
Ask Jerry.
Get Jerry to ask Jeff. See, get him in a drunken state and see if he confesses. Uh-oh.
But you know, I'm sure. To me, it sounds like that's a common sci-fi trope. That, you know, maybe I got it from something Jeff Darrow did before the Matrix or anything.
I would say if a human was encapsulated into a pod, right? If that was and Ostrander wrote plot, or he wrote script?
He wrote script
because he was DC, right? So yeah. So he wrote script. So he would write full script with dialogue, panel for panel.
Yeah.
And I guess you were just starting out. So did you veer from the panel to panel descriptions, or you kind of stayed true to a lot?
I try to draw exactly what he called out.
Okay. So, and did he ever include reference material in his scripts?
No. Then this is before you can even do that.
So, I don't know, this is coming out like,
pretty cool though. Mm-hmm.
this side of his face. I'm gonna pull up the site that Carl uses to look at comics. Is that a legit site? It's not a bootleg site.
Probably
right?
not.
Hold on a second. What's it called?
You shouldn't
Global
say the
Comics.
name of it.
No, it's not. It's not a legit site.
Well, I mean, legit mean are you going to purchase it or what?
No, is it a bootleg or is it a bootleg site? It's not a Russian bootleg site, right?
I thought they all were. I mean, otherwise, if you wanted to look at those comics, you'd have to purchase it, right? So you had to pay whatever,
Some of these are
$4.
Some of these are uploaded.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's Ryan 9 because I did a bunch of issues, so I wouldn't even know where it is.
Well, I'm on the site. I'm looking at it. It's only showing me issue 1 right now. I don't want to just read issue 1.
You know, if I found out that what I drew and what was written in Rye inspired the Matrix, like I don't know, like a lot of times people say like, well, I'm angry and I'm gonna go, I want some money now because they stole from me. For me, I was like, all I care about is I got some bragging rights now.
Well, let's go break Jeff Darrow's legs.
It's like just,
Why is this 24?
it sounds like a very Jeff Darrow thing. And I think I probably remember him drawing things like that.
This site does not have Rye 9 on it. It goes from Rye 8 to Rye 24.
It just says you probably already have this comic. Well, Yojimbo has 2 copies of it.
Were the pods on the covers at any point?
No, I don't think they were. So, and I don't even remember which issue it showed it. Maybe it's in 9, maybe it's later. But I don't know. I think you should finish your drawing.
Yeah. Future Force. Did they show it in the thing you did with Carl?
Yeah.
So then it's
Oh, it was in. I'm not sure if it was not in the one that I was in, but it was in the episode before that because they review all the comics and then they bring the guest on. You know, they're eventually gonna get to Dr. Mirage. So.
These blitz.
reading number 9. Is that what it is?
Probably, if I'm not on it, then that's the episode.
Oh,
And that's a weird thing. Like having someone go through your work. I don't know how many years ago that was, but it could be like a few decades, and it's just tough to look at.
Yeah, I mean that stuff was from a while ago. Okay, yeah, I think this is it right here.
Bob did that show, and that was a great episode with Bob.
You know about how far in?
I don't know. I think you'd be able to see it when they start looking at the interior pages, I think because Mark Cesar colored it, and so he colors like very bright, so it's probably a page that's very red and orange and yellow.
Okay, very red, very orange, very yellow.
Yeah, but this is a crazy tangent.
Very 9 by 9. Magnus, Eternal Warrior. Who's inking you right now? Catherine Bollinger?
Yeah, that'd be Catherine Bulge. And I don't have these pages.
You sold them?
I didn't sell them. They just never were returned. And then people have been selling them, but they were. I think that was it. We're on a delay, so at some point you went over. I didn't get those pages back. I think they took them because they wanted to possibly auction them off at like Heritage, and they decided not to, and they never put it back in the drawer. So I just never saw them again. And then they just turned up on the original art market.
Well, who's selling them?
Anthony.
Oh, the guy that.
But he bought them from someone.
The seller. Oh, the seller is the guy from New Jersey, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony's.
But he bought them from someone else.
Yeah. It may have been the inker.
Oh, you don't have any from Ride Number 9?
I mean, one of the reasons I don't have it is because I didn't really hang on to it. Because after I draw, especially back then, you start drawing better and better with every page. I just didn't want to have that stuff anymore. I didn't want to look at it. Oh, that's it. All right, well, yeah. There's a woman wearing a robe inside of like this egg thing.
Woman wearing a robe. Oh, here it is. This it right here?
It gets shown a few times, so at some point it's like a whole wall of them, and then sometimes it's just one pod. But the idea that they were used as batteries, kind of.
Right here, whereas she's kind of like wearing Jesus robes.
Yeah.
This is it right here with the.
Yeah, and I think Jimbo said that originally they were a whole bunch of people put together to create one giant neural network computer. But I think the Matrix eventually went with the idea that they're just powering the whole Matrix.
Conspiracy theory. We'll corner Jeff into ply him with some liquor, then give him the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Interesting. How long does that storyline go on till?
9 until 16.
And then you jump on the Harbinger.
Yep.
All right. I don't know. This doesn't really look that much like Arnold.
Well, I think part of it is that reference that you have doesn't look too much like him either, but
No?
it does. Well, sometimes when people take pictures, they don't look like themselves. So
I think his distinction comes in the angles of his face.
yeah, he usually has that whatever, that crew cut thing or the spiky hair.
Yeah. So I'll change it to the spiky hair. But this one looks. I think this picture is this picture from the Terminator or is this from Total Recall?
That's a good point.
Because it looks very Total Recall-ish. What's interesting too is when you have like a little bit of photo reference, you can really render the shit out of it because you have this, you have all the shadows and everything.
Yeah, that's great lighting on him.
Yeah. Well, it's in part because his face is so chiseled. There's so many ins and outs.
I would say that it's not so much the shadows as the hard cuts of light on that one side.
On the on his outside, yeah. But then that outside is going to be, unfortunately, that outside is going to be robot.
Oh, too bad.
Right? That's
Oh yeah, so this is a scene where he goes to the police station and he does the "I'll be back."
And how does he get he gets the sunglasses from what? A gas station?
Yeah, there's like this. I think it's a scene at a gas station where he steals a motorcycle, and then the bartender comes out with a shotgun and says like, you know, don't be taking the guy's bike. And then I think the guy never gets a shot off, and then Arnold disables him and then takes his glasses.
Right. A little bit like him. I don't know.
I think one of the things when I look at his face, that his mouth area protrudes forward, kind of like that gorilla type thing.
It does. Already, because the lead is kind of hard, 2H erasing, I can feel a little bit of difficulty erasing them. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. What's up, Butthead? Butthead's doing his, he's showing off right now. Showing off how well he can fly. But this is also him saying that he's ready to go to bed.
So, if Beavis didn't pass away, what is his life expectancy? Because you've had Butthead for so long.
15 to 18 years. So
yeah, that's like a dog life.
Yeah, I think Butthead is around. I mean, parrots live forever. I think Butthead is. I got him 2014. The owner said they've had him for a year before that. Maybe I think they might have had him for a couple years before that, or at least a year and a half. So 14, so 10, 11. So he's probably 12 years old. He's getting up there. He's getting up there.
Wow. Yeah, I think the smaller birds, they don't live as long as the bigger ones. I think because if a animal's life is very treacherous, like they could die at any time by being eaten because they're small and delicate, then they have to reach sexual maturity very quickly to have children as soon as possible. And those children have to become mature as soon as possible and have babies as soon as possible, meaning that the lifespan doesn't have to be that long because the kids grow up in about a year. So if there's an animal that doesn't have a lot of predators or lives a fairly safe life, I think parrots are so smart that they have no natural predators. So they just take their time reaching sexual maturity, and they can just live forever, like sometimes like 100 years.
The big ones, yes. And the big ones usually, like the grays and the macaws, they usually outlive multiple human owners. Those are usually given to like elderly too. So they'll outlive like 2 or 3 owners, and then that causes them trauma. So because then they get attached to an owner, the owner passes away. They might have to spend like a year or 2 inside of a shelter, before they get rehomed. And sometimes they develop things where they're trauma, they pluck out their old feathers. So you see a lot of older parrots. If you go to like a bird sanctuary or bird shelter area, like all their chest feathers are plucked out or their wing feathers are plucked out because they have this trauma from losing their human host.
Oh wow, it's John Amore is here
Oh, hello, John.
from Urban Animal. This guy draws like how many pages in one day? I mean, that webtoon comic, the pace for webcomics is relentless. You have to put out so much. Otherwise, you'll lose followers because they just want more updates. So you got to put out a lot of stuff. So I think he draws like several pages a day.
Is that
incredible.
possible?
But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear a little bit about the webcomic because we draw traditional comics that get printed. And I think there are some people who try to go into the webcomic territory. And then there's also a style difference because they're more manga, there's more female readers, and it's more about like a interpersonal drama rather than a big set piece action.
Can you have full frontal nudity in webtoons? In a webtoon comic?
It's so weird that we're kind of in the same business, but it's a completely different side of comics to the point where you really can't cross over too easily.
It's all dessert for the brave. Is John replying in chat?
You should talk to him at some point. I think he'll make a good guest because we just don't know much about the webtoon ecosystem. But when traditional comics are down, they could be up, and then vice versa. I think webcomics are pretty healthy, and then they're getting by without having to deal with the direct market and no printing. So it's a whole different world.
I heard that they're actually losing money. Webtoons.
Yeah, I think only recently. But they were like a juggernaut for a while, and I don't know what their challenges is this time. Like what's going on with
what is a webtoon challenge? Like Marvel, DC Comics sales, retention of or building of new readership, retaining older readership. What is like the pitfalls of webtoons? And does John still stream? We used to go on Michael De Nicola's stream. I haven't seen him stream in a while. Has he been streaming?
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
So, no more streamer life. I mean, all these guys that used to stream, they're not streaming anymore. Domo, Kreese. Now that Kreese is a full-fledged married dude. Cut into his
with real work.
Cut into his streaming.
Yeah, I think people only see numbers go down with streaming. Like they used to get used to making a certain amount of money, but then that ad revenue is kind of drying up, and those partnerships things are harder to achieve, and you get less returns. So I think they just kind of understandably would dip out. But see, that doesn't really bother us. Get down to like 2 viewers, we'll still do the show.
I'll still do a show with 2 viewers. It'll be, who would it be? It'll be Yojimbo and...
That'd be sad, because Yojimbo is the moderators.
There'll be more people affiliated with the stream.
Yeah, we're going to do this when it gets down. I think we'll draw the line at 2. Like when it gets down to 2, we'll probably think about closing down. But I don't think we're not anywhere near there. And it's going to be just, who would it be? I mean, it'll be Golf Boy Sunday or maybe Dr. Midnight.
Maybe Dr. Midnight. Maybe we'd be surprised.
James Quo.
Yeah. Well, James Quo would still come on if I beat him in the sketch in the sketch contest. If I'm up one,
Yes, you would still have the sketch contest, and then the audience would be like the one other person that's watching it. It's kind of like a private show.
But then who's gonna vote on it? You know, the one.
Oh, it's just one vote. I mean, it's whoever he decides, that one person.
All right, this is looking more like his son than.
It's a good likeness.
I think it's looking more like his son. If I had I would probably, if I was drawing this digitally, I would probably compress it a little bit, and then it would be like right on. I think it's a little too long.
Oh, you mean like horizontally squeeze it down,
Yeah.
or vertically squeeze it down?
Yeah, vertically squeeze it down a little bit. You know, it's a little bit too elongated. That's why I think it looks more like his son.
Well, that's I don't remember what his kids look like 'cause I haven't seen them. But is it was that Maria?
No, I think it looks
What's
more
her
like the son with the maid.
Oh, okay.
Like he
Yeah, 'cause
really looks like Arnold. No.
I think it's great that he totally acknowledges that's his son.
Simple Man
and
says
includes
he's
him in a
gonna
lot
be-
of his activity.
Yeah, Simple Man says he's going to be the last one.
Okay.
You know, Cabot Inc. Like he'll disappear and then he'll come back. Cabot Inc. says, you know, when there's more hosts than viewers, that's when you know it's time to end. Okay, let me look up some Terminator reference. Terminator. Okay, so this is the Terminator reference.
So yeah, Maria Shriver. Like when you look at her face, she's also kind of chiseled and she has those jowls.
Yes.
And so if she has a kid with Arnold, they'll probably inherit like that. Like it'd be the most masculine looking child.
Now, I hate to lose this left side of his face. Come here, butthead. I need the light. Daddy needs the light. Don't bite me. Daddy needs the light. Hey, why are you such a aggressive boy today? Daddy needs the light. Okay, there we go. All right.
You ever think of breeding butthead?
Well, I would need a second bird.
It's like those the egg is like the size of a jelly bean, and the thing that comes out is so small. You'd think it's like impossible something so small can live.
Yeah.
And then when you feed it, it's really weird how they can gobble up something that's the size of their body.
Well, yeah, they gotta constantly eat, and then they gotta poop. Do you use a syringe, like a little mini syringe, to feed the?
And it was bad 'cause
birds?
yeah, our sparrow, I think we got it. It was like maybe a couple weeks old, and we fed it with that syringe, and it never wanted to graduate to anything. Like it would like resist eating solid food because the syringe was just so easy.
Yeah,
And then I threw a bug in front of it, and he's like, "What the fuck do you expect me to do with that?"
yeah, he's probably dead now. I mean, he didn't
Yes.
build up any natural instincts to hunt.
Yeah, that was getting bad because like I think we had to let him go because he was just so lazy as a bird.
Well, that's what you gotta keep him, man. It's too late. Too late. You didn't train him how to
Yeah.
eat bugs. It's gonna be like
I'm getting kind of worried. It's getting to that season again where in our area you can just find a bird on the ground like a few times a week, And
Yeah, that's the ones that are cast out by the mob.
yeah,
And then those are the weakest ones. But then you can nurse them back to health, and then why don't you try to play genetic splicer? You know, get like a sparrow, find some habits about the sparrow or the color, and then try to mix the genetic to build a super sparrow. You ever seen those TikToks where the bird flies out of the apartment, comes back with like $100 bill?
oh, is that real?
Yeah, that's in China. They train the bird to like go find some like loose change and then bring it back. This was pre-AI, so I'm sure it's real. Like a few years ago. All right, I think I got the basis of the Arnold down.
I would say just skip the robot part because I think you're gonna lose a lot of good stuff if you. It's always tough. Like if you finish drawing it, you kind of hate to lose it, and then most likely what'll happen is when you want to put the robot stuff underneath, you'll make the smallest hole possible because you just don't want to lose anything.
You think this is a good Arnold? I don't know.
Yeah. You have to
I'm gonna
kind
scan
of
it in.
sleep on it. You look at it later, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. But at the time, it doesn't look like it's working.
Yeah, I'm gonna scan it in and fix it up later. It's kind of from the angle, but not really. It's not really from the angle. I guess the one thing this will teach me is maybe like some hatching. Work on some hatching. Study like the shapes.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's going on here is like I've done this 1,000 times, but then when I have to draw out of my head for a comic, I don't remember any of this stuff.
No?
And so I have to look for a reference all over again. So when you're doing it, though, it's going into a different data bank, and it can be recalled.
Yeah, it's
and
safe.
That's what's going on right now. But if for some reason that doesn't work for me,
like this area on the nose right here, the area on the cheek. A lot of comic book people do this kind of shading right here on the cheek without really understanding. And actually, this is a little bit higher. I don't want to be Arnold specific. Oh, let me get my special eraser. So
tomorrow I think
no
Spider-Man
Terminator.
comes out.
Huh?
The Pepe Larraz Spider-Man thing comes out tomorrow.
Comic. So no. Is he going to be the regular artist on Spider-Man or what?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So yeah. So this, as an exercise, as an academic exercise, we would have to draw this in art school to kind of get to understand the structure of the face.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of pointless because I don't retain any of it.
Why don't you retain
So there's something, this is the way my brain works. Because I think if we could all retain the stuff that we draw, then we would all be professional artists, and what you're doing would be that special. But like even people in this chat, not everyone here is working professionally, and I think it's just normal not to be able to do that. So I can do this with reference, but then it's in one eye out the other, and then when I gotta draw it, I gotta spend hours looking for a reference all over again.
When you're looking at this, are you looking at it in terms of the shadows or the shapes of the face and how the light is you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I think we all can understand how shading works on very simple shapes, but the face it's so organic and so complex, and it's also like, the skin textures and stuff that makes the light and shadow so chaotic that there's no way to use logic to figure it out. So there is like a kind of visual memory that's it's pretty rare. Like I think I told you before, like we played concentration before. You, me, and Tommy Lee Edward played concentration, and you guys kind of, after you had this map in your head of where all the cards are, and I couldn't, so I lost every single time. That's when I realized, like, as artists, you guys can see things once, and it's put somewhere where it can be recalled later.
Did you smoke a lot of weed when you were younger?
Maybe I was dropped. Well, no, I think I'm just a normal person. So.
He's got a small mouth. Arnold. Got a thin upper lip. And sometimes in drawing, you might want to exaggerate a little bit, more so than what the real reference is. Almost a caricature. And actually, might be deviant from the actual original photo reference, but the caricature can actually give a little bit more likeness.
Yeah, you'd have to, because you're basically drawing like the camera lens, depending on what lens it is and how far away it is and how close you're cropping in, will distort the face and it could look flatter. So you have to find some way to make it feel more round. And then also, it's usually when you're drawing a face, it's smaller than life size. So if you ever look at a Barbie doll, how super tiny feet, big breasts, super thin neck, so those all are exaggerated, not so much to be sexier, but just to make up for the scale difference between a real person and a doll.
Like I think the upper lip for Arnold, he has a very long upper lip. Like a Homer Simpson kind of, not to that degree, but it's a little bit slightly longer than normal. So something this is to watch out for.
But he's Austrian, right? But Austrian, like he could originally hail, I guess people might have hailed from like Germany, maybe. Yeah. So is this the typical Aryan thing? Is this like the Hitler's wet dream type
no,
person?
He's not blonde.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He does have also like a little bit of a sleepy eye, right? Or his eyes are. Actually, here's the thing: his eyes are a little bit wider. What are you gonna say?
I don't know. I forgot.
His eyes are a little bit wider.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I know from bodybuilding when I was younger, I was like really into that, and me and a bunch of friends would go to the gym and we all go at the same time and everything, and I noticed that they were putting on muscle mass way faster than me, and I would try to work out harder to make up for it. So there are body types that are receptive to stimulus from working out, and then there's ones that just aren't. And one of my friends, like, they were European, the other one was black, and then those guys, and they really just, their shoulders and their lats just like exploded, and with me it just didn't make much of a difference.
Well, what did you eat?
I don't know if that's it either, because I mean, you don't see too many like it also, like, your shoulders could just be in your skeletal structure. So there are people who just don't put on muscle that easily.
Well, you're pretty muscular, Sean.
Well, that's from working out like a whole lot when I was younger. But for the amount of time I spent in the gym, I should have been really, really big. But I was just kind of like, I don't know, like a weekend warrior.
Maybe they had juice. Maybe they were juicing up.
Arnold did.
Maybe they had a little bit, you know, the one buddy injected for the other. They're like three's company, man. Third wheel. We don't need a third wheel. Did they have mood swings?
But you know, one thing about Arnold is he's one guy who he set a goal and an intention, and he achieved it all. And he's not afraid to work out very hard. Like I think he had to do some standard time in the military. So he would ask, like I think he was on tank patrol. So it's kind of hard to find time to work out when you're in a tank, and then you have to stay covered. So he would take the armor plating and then have the tank drive over him. So he's underneath the tank, and he would just do bench presses with armor plating underneath the tank. Oh. So I mean, so that he won't get shot at or anything because you can't see him. So he would always find a way to get his workout in.
And again, I don't think, you know, I'm not going for complete accuracy. Again, this is not the exact angle of the picture, but it's close.
And that woman that played the Sarah Connor. Did you think that she was hot or
when it first came out that she was like really muscular? Is that what you're asking?
Oh, I think was she muscular in the first movie? Because she did later on when she'd have some really big guns. Like she had a great
Linda
physique.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
In the second movie, she was really.
Yeah, and in the first movie, like it was strange. Like I thought maybe they would just pick because she's like a damsel in distress. I thought they would pick someone that was better looking, but she got pretty badass. And one funny thing about the latest movie that she was in, where she played the Terminator, or she played like the protagonist, James Cameron. They weren't married anymore, but they called her up, and she would kind of avoid his calls. But then he said, like, "Well, I got a role. I need you back for this movie." And she was like, "All right, I'll do it." And she, you know, she has no love for that guy anymore, just because she's moved on. She did the movie, and then she had to do the promotional circuit. So she's on Jimmy Kimmel, and so Jamie's like, "So, like, you finished filming? How was it? How was the movie? What's it like? Is it going to be good?" And she goes, "It's okay."
You mean in the latest Terminator movie, she played a Terminator?
I think it was the latest one, yeah. And it didn't do too well, but you know, she promoted. I mean, almost like she's just so over Hollywood and just doesn't really participate anymore.
Are you sure I shouldn't make this side of the face at least his eye? The Terminator? Just draw Arnold?
Well, in the poster, his eye is that red light, but
yeah.
You really can't do that with
I think it's this eye though too. His left eye that becomes the Terminator, right? Yeah, it's his left eye. Whoops. Oh no, and the other one here. The other one is this one.
Yeah, that's just the movie poster, so it's just the graphic, but both eyes will be red.
Well, this pencil piece is getting kind of dark. Thin upper lip. Thin upper lip. How about let's ask chat. Should I draw the Terminator in this? Could add lighting effects, like it's just appearing. Well, I was gonna do the smoke in the back, right? So the smoke would be here, and then the smoke would then form.
You know, it'd be cool is if you flip it over and draw the robot part on the other side.
Mm.
There's this LED frame that people get. Like you can get your photos on there, and so when the light's off, you would see this, and then when you flick the light on, the transparency, the robot side will come through.
Mm.
Or like what I do sometimes, like I would draw on my scripts. You can do like a very basic animation where you flip the pages very quickly back and forth, and then you can do I've seen someone draw like a headbanger where they just kind of flip the page back and forth, and then you take a picture, you take a video of it with your phone, and it just looks like someone's headbanging.
Yeah, it's not. The more I'm doing this, the less it looks like him.
I think you gotta give it time. Like if you go away from it and you look at it again,
The comic book shading, the comic book hatching is also very comic book specific. Meaning,
you
like,
think so? I mean, it's a basic cross hatching, though.
well, like the feathering. I mean, cross hatching is one.
Oh, that, yeah. Like you're talking about like that hound's tooth.
Yeah, when you go like right here, like I'm doing like a little thing here on the little side of the mouth. It's like that's a very comic book language type.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do have to be initiated in comics to really understand that. I think actually most people look at that and they know what it is, but when in the old Image days, they would try to amplify that because it was kind of unique to comics. So that houndstooth would get so big and exaggerated,
Yeah.
and it kind of looks cool. But it looks cool if you're a comic book reader. So like one time, Dan Panosian. It's a big part of that, creating that Malibu style. It's a mixture of Barry Windsor Smith and Klaus Janson. And so, when they're making a lot of money and their style's really popular, he would show it to his father. And the father doesn't read comics and he doesn't know what he's looking at. It's like, I know it's a guy's face, but why is there does he have like sutures or stitches, or is that barbed wire?
Right.
And it's like, no. It's so you really do have to be initiated to understand it.
I'm gonna go back in there and get his little. What are these things called? Eyebrow.
Listen. Oh, yeah.
Eyebrow bumps.
Yeah, when you get older, they call those the 11 lines.
The what?
11 lines. It's like the two lines above your nose that just look like the number 11.
Oh.
It's a sign of old age.
Wisdom.
No, just maybe too many days being angry.
Too much stress. By the way, Sean, how's your 401k? Did you diversify? Did you sell?
Yeah,
Did you sell a bunch of stocks? Now are you buying? Good time to buy.
no. Well, buy the dip, they say.
Good
No,
time to buy.
I lost. I lost 6 figures, but the thing is, we kind of knew that was going to happen. So.
I bought American Airlines stock 5 years ago at $9, and it went up to, I think, at 1.14 or 15. Now it's back down to 9.
Yeah, but well, don't get turned off, Bill. Don't go back up.
I bought some Nvidia stock, but I think I bought it too soon. It's what is it, down to like 90 something now?
Yeah, I don't make any of these purchases myself. Like I have a person that does it because it's just too hard to figure out.
I do want to buy some Nike stock.
See, the thing is, you're buying stuff that you're familiar with, which I guess can be a good idea. But I have this guy who manages my portfolio. It's like this old guy, and he doesn't really care about any things I care about. So, if it were me, I'd just end up buying. I would know what to buy. It's like whatever I like eating. Yeah, something dumb.
Well, I just figure like I know what I like, so if it's stuff that I buy myself, like the products, then I at least will keep kind of a peripheral understanding of where the company's at, like what they're doing. Whereas if it's stock of companies like even the Nvidia, I don't really know what they're doing that much besides making chips. But even at that, like what does that mean, right? And like I would think they're making chips, and the reason it initially went down was that Chinese AI programmers were able to use less NVIDIA chips to do the same thing, if not more, than the U.S. counterparts, because the NVIDIA chips are so high-tech and so thin. But at the same time, my thinking is, well, they can do more with less right now, but eventually they're still going to need the higher tech chips, right? To get even better. I don't know. Maybe cyclic. Yojimbo says NVIDIA is cyclic.
Yeah, and the DeepSeek thing was all hype. So it went down, but it came back up again because they found out that DeepSeek was just all talk.
Oh, really? Oh, so you mean the Chinese AI?
Yeah, like when the news comes out, you don't want to be stuck holding the bag. So everyone's sold because you don't want to be stuck holding the bag. Then later on, the news will come out just to see exactly what these chips are capable of. And they realize that a lot of it is just hype. And then people started getting back in again. So stock market makes no sense. It has nothing to do with how the economy is going. And it's just based on people's feelings. So.
All right, am I done?
Yeah, it looks like it.
We're going to give this away? Let's get out of here. Well, it looks like I just drew an Arnold this week. No Terminator. Who wanted the Terminator? D. Rogers? No Terminator this week. What do I post this under? Arnold or White Lotus? What if your son was on a TV show?
Well, like Jeff Yang's.
he had to play the role of an incestual brother.
Whatever. It's acting.
Exactly. There you go. He does have this. What is this thing right here on the cheek, like on the mouth? It is rather bulbous.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
But when the highlight or the shadow hits it just right, it can be very like cool, like in terms of like comic book drawing. You know what I mean?
I know that I saw this process thing that I think it was Jorge Molina. He releases some Patreon videos after a while. It's been on Patreon, and he puts it on YouTube. When he has to do a commission, like he was doing his Miracle Man commission, and it starts out with he would get a 3D model that's lit. I'm not sure where you get that, but it's like a figure. You can pose it and then determine the lighting, and it gives you like exactly what you're doing there. It's like the shadow that goes across the face. For most people, it's not possible to memorize. So a lot of the shadows, the ideas you can get from the 3D model. Yeah, I saw, like, before I really knew about AI, I would just go through Instagram, and then whatever inspires me, I'm like, well, I gotta save this, I gotta look at this, I gotta study this. One of the things that really blew me away was it was done by AI. And then this other artist, I really liked his style, and I was following him. But then I just found out that his whole thing was AI. It was fake. It was he was trying to be deceptive.
These character drawings, was that what you're talking about? It's doing like this one guy doing a lot of these like Wolverine or X-Men redrawing.
Well, it wasn't comic. This was like more like almost like fine arts. It's just like children and animal faces, and the coloring and the draftsmanship was just fantastic.
What about the raw straws controversy?
Yeah, that's really heartbreaking because that guy, I mean, he really was, in terms of art people and influence, he was the top of the pyramid, right? It wasn't like there's really no one bigger than him.
Well,
there was no one bigger than.
It doesn't surprise me that much, though, Sean, because wasn't the original basis of most of his videos was him digitally painting over photos.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
as a starting point.
He's starting like right now. I'm drawing from reference, right? I'm not like there's a picture there, but I'm drawing, looking at the picture and trying to replicate it. He's drawing right on the picture from the get-go.
Yeah, but it would sometimes be like a picture of himself, and he would make a female out of it, and it's so far removed from the original. He would take his mom and then turn her into some, or like sometimes take a bunch of candy bars and make a drawing out of that. So sometimes they changed a lot. But I mean, I think one thing about him was like the fact that he was so wholesome, and then he had his dog, and his dog was like a perfect pet. And he seemed like a really great guy. But then that's just what we see. But behind the scenes, he was very like businesslike, and there was a lot of stuff was just basically drawn from reference or drawn over, and you can put the Ross Straw style over anything and just make the woman look younger and cuter, and that was his specialty. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, he had to disappear because it seems like, I don't know whether he's kind of fragile from an emotional standpoint, but even if he wasn't fragile, like how much shit is piling on him that could break anyone. But I think what's interesting about him is he's a guy who knew he wanted to stand out and be famous for some reason, so he thought it was going to be in acting, but then the acting didn't pan out. Yeah, he did some movies and stuff, and he has that face that's like very, he could be like a K-pop star. So, but then it didn't work out. So he's like, well, I like drawing. So then he just became the most famous artist. And then now that didn't work out, he's going to leave because this community kind of rejected him. He's like, I'm going to do music now.
Oh yeah, is that
So-
what he's gonna do? He said he's gonna do music.
He's focusing on music. So it's basically like some people are just destined to achieve very high in whatever they're interested in. And which is tough because there are people who are way more interested in, like, who really want to do something a lot. And no matter how hard you try, it's very hard to get a foothold. But that guy's like, I'm going to move on to something else. So,
Well,
but yeah, those allegations. I mean, there's the AI use, and then there's just he's a bit of a jerk.
in terms of
Not paying-
people for working with him.
Yeah, using people. Yeah, using people, and then trying to be deceptive, like just grooming his image so that he comes off. Like he wants to be seen as like a very good guy, but then that's kind of hypocritical because he's not. It doesn't seem to be. There are problems that are coming up. So
Wait, so did he
know.
own up to everything, or did he just say? Wait,
he says there's just more nuance to it, and he did come up with some like kind of excuses. So, and like, what can you do? I mean, those allegations are corroborated by a bunch of people, and so now he's just gotta like take a break just for his own mental health, and then I think he's gonna focus on music. And I don't know if he's gonna do much drawing anymore, because I think when you go to draw, it's just like, how can you do this anymore? It's one of the casualties of being so popular is that you get a target on your back, and I think we can get away with a lot of stuff because they're not as well known. And then him being like, part of his image is just being so wholesome, with his dog and his new cat, very Instagrammable animals and stuff. So there's a little bit of hypocrisy there, but that's not something that we do. I mean, people don't think of us as like really wholesome people. So
I thought people thought I was very wholesome. I mean, I just fart a lot, but that's natural.
So I think that's the big thing, is the hypocrisy. Like, you can be a badass and an artist, and that's fine. But the thing is, part of how he made bank was just being such a nice guy, portraying himself as a nice guy.
And what about our buddy Dan Fraga breaking up with CG?
I think that's happening a lot.
Break up with CG?
I don't know. But there are these things things go in trends. Like when there's a movement gets too popular, one way to stand out. So you start seeing the cracks in it, and then you start changing. And then, so even someone like what's his name? Your boy Zach. He's kind of flip sides now.
Well, there's only so many things you can just only complain about, right? You run out of stuff to complain about one side, and you guys start complaining. I mean, they're just complainers. If you run out of things to complain about the other side, because everything that you say about the other side never happened. Like they're gonna collapse, or they're gonna stop publishing, or whatever, and it doesn't happen. There's only so much of what you can say that Marvel DC is gonna implode. And it doesn't happen for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years or however many years they've been saying it. Eventually, you're going to have to, if your whole MO is to complain about shit, then you have to complain about something else. And what else are they going to complain about?
So his latest thing was
their buddies.
complaining about the complainers.
Yeah.
And then he's like trying to separate himself from the
Complaining
complainers.
about the complainers, complaining about stuff, and about them being bullies.
Yeah.
Where
So
he started out
now,
being one of the.
now
he
he's just
started out
the
being a
comic
bully.
review site.
Huh? He started out being a bully, complaining about stuff and trying to bully people. And now he's saying that, all these other people that I used to associate with, they are bullies. Come on.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic. Is that irony or is that just stupidity?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, but there is a more profitable route for him, but he's not taking the profitable route because he's a comic book review sites, and those never do all that well. It's like read the comics and talk about it, what they liked, what they didn't like. So he's just probably going to shed a lot of viewers, but that's kind of that's the space he wants to be in. And so
I thought he was a comic book publisher. What's up, Kevin P. West?
yeah, I don't know how that's working out either.
I thought he
Because
was a comic
yeah,
book
those
publisher.
that's getting harder and harder because the sales are just they kind of go down over time. So those big Kickstarter days are kind of over.
Yeah. I mean, well, the cost of doing comics, the production costs are going to go up, especially for the independent guys.
Oh yeah.
The margins are always already very thin, and if the production costs go up, without
That's
the
it.
production costs, meaning just printing costs, not even talking about creative costs. I'm sure they're not going to, give the artists raises. I mean, they complain about, if they're getting on the bandwagon about complaining about rates at Marvel and DC, but then who are they hiring? They're not paying top rate.
It's very tough. Like if you want to do something, like if you want to start a comic book company, or if you want to put out a comic, you have to weigh the options. So like, well, if I put out this comic, the way things are going, I'll probably lose money. So it's best just to sit on your ass at home and do nothing and play video games.
I think this guy's face is a little skewed. Again, I think I'm going to scan this in and then compress it, and it'll be right on it. This is the shitty part about drawing traditionally. At some point, you get stuck with a particular version, and because you got to erase the whole thing, or you got to erase most of it.
Yeah, that's tough. So basically, like with every drawing I do, I if I get it to this stage and it's like, well, it's great, except it needs a lot of corrections, and the corrections are very easy to do digitally. So I look at it, in mirror image and small and large on the screen, and digitally you can change things around a lot, and then it looks perfect to your eye. And then if someone says like, "Can I buy the original?" I'm like, in the back of your head, it's like you can buy it. It's just that it doesn't really look like what you're seeing on the screen.
Also,
and then they buy it, and they're like, "Oh, this is great. It's better than the original, and better than what I saw on the screen." It's like, "Oh, I'm glad you think that, because it's definitely not the perfect version."
Yeah, because it's also the angle in which I'm sitting at of the table, and also the angle in which the camera is at, right? If it's not, the camera's at a slight angle. So there's all these different angles that, anyways, I just find it really funny. But, well, let's get out of here. Let's give this away. Should we give this away?
That's up to you.
The Terminator sketch that never became a Terminator sketch. Let me do the eyeball.
You can take a pin or something sharp and poke the eye, and then shine a light from behind it.
Let me do the eyeball. I'm drawing too thick. I'm going to draw a little thinner.
Where is Jerry today?
I think he's either busy working or doing something. I don't know. He might be mad that my sketch came in so late.
Well,
I hope it didn't cause any problems with the.
well, I think I don't know. Like I think at this point, I don't know what the budget they gave him, but I get the sense that he's having to dip into his pocket to make up for some stuff.
Really? Well, what stuff?
Yeah, because well, I think the budget didn't go as far as he needed to go because he has to get all the stuff framed and all those prints made. So just to do the minimum amount that he was committed to do, he still had to go into his pocket a little bit. And I don't know if it gets more expensive when it's late. Maybe not. But, he's never going to really mention it. But the thing is, like, all you do is look at the piece. It's worth the wait, right? So,
Well, I hope it's worth the wait. But I also, it's also like.
Jerry's here. It's in chat. Tell him to come on.
Oh, he was out.
What?
I uploaded it onto the Dropbox. James Cole asks, do you know how it works for Jorge Jimenez to do his Art of Book Kickstarter with Clover Press? Doesn't DC own the rights to all of that? Yes.
Yeah, but people do it all the time, though.
I'm assuming the publisher Clover Press got the licensing from DC Comics, paid a fee, and then to publish the book. So I don't know what that fee is. They do license it out at times. Could be a few $1,000. Could be a percentage of the sales or royalties.
Yeah, it's not quite a bit. Like, if you imagine, like, the Dave Finch sketchbook, like, you think this was all going to be his original character designs. So I'm not sure if they asked permission or they asked for forgiveness. And then if you're a big name artist, you're going to want to play ball with them. Like, I think Sean Gordon Murphy got in a little bit of trouble creating something that was so popular that used Marvel characters. And then I think Marvel got really mad. I'm not sure what happened with it. But then, like what are you going to do? You going to sue him or something?
I think the Jorge book, definitely, I think there is a license thing because Clover Press is doing a bunch of these artist edition books. So I don't think they would be doing them without the licensing. I think it just depends on how much the licensing costs. If you're doing your own sketchbook, that's one thing. But Jerry, you on Discord?
Yeah, I just got on.
Do you see the piece?
What's up, everybody?
Do you see the piece in the Dropbox?
Oh yeah, I just got it. Sorry.
Isn't
I
it
just saw
quite amazing? Isn't it a great piece, though?
It's pretty intense. I didn't know you were going to go all out like that, dude.
We went all out, balls to the wall. Yeah, I can imagine that people can kind of stare at that piece for like an hour.
Yeah, you trying to show off Cliff and Jerome?
Yeah.
You got the competitive juices in me running. We got you, Sean, Jerome, Cliffy,
Sue, Kimberly.
Sue? Who?
Bernard, this piece is pretty fucking dope.
Katie?
Can you flash it onto the screen real quick for everyone here, just so they know what we're talking about?
Oh, we looked at it, but yeah, but you can look at it for a while because
it's awesome.
Yeah, there's like tons of Easter eggs in there, and I think that's great for something that's not like a marquee character. Like there's no Batman, or you gotta give someone a reason to look at it, and they can look at it for a while. Like I can see people just buying this, if they have kids or whatever, it'd be great to have.
So can I ask, Bernard, did you enjoy drawing this seriously?
It was fun, but it was
a lot of work.
It took a lot of work. I've been exhausted. I've been drawing it since Sunday.
Because I don't know if the guys on the stream, maybe they can answer this question for me. Can they tell when we well, when you guys as professional artists enjoy what you're working on versus when you're not. Can you show like a drawing that you did not enjoy doing, and then show one that you did enjoy, and if we can see the difference?
For me, that'd be most of Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know if like most of the stuff I really enjoy drawing. Like this one, I enjoy drawing because this was like for fun, right? There's no paycheck involved in it,
Oh,
so
I wouldn't say that too.
it got a little laborious at the end in terms of that there's no paycheck next to it, but also just because of I wasn't really happy with the initial layout or how everything worked out. Initial layout. But I had to start. I had to actually start, inking or penciling. And then as I was going, I tried to find the fun in the details and in the character play. So the emotions of the various characters along with the clones and the dim sum ladies, and then looking up reference for the carts to make sure that they were accurate. The clothing is somewhat accurate to Royal Seafood, but it's a combination of Royal Seafood and 88 Palace. Because I didn't want to go too heavy on one. We're not endorsing Royal Seafood, but and then drawing from personal experiences at dim sum places. So, I mean, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I can see the subject matter is right up your alley. It's either this or basketball, but then any other thing. Like I don't know if you'd be able to put in that much work on subject
he's wearing
matter.
a John Starks jersey. I hope you like that. I
do. I love the Mets jersey, the Mets hat.
The Mets jersey. I was going to see the Mets jersey is kind of inaccurate though because I started with drawing another Mets jersey in mind, but then I thought, okay, I'll go old school and do the retro one. But that year, the '86 year, that's the one that I drew. Those jerseys were not buttoned down. They were kind of like softball jerseys, where it's like a shirt. So I had already drawn the button down style. So I didn't put the New York in script because I also felt like we had the New York on the Monkey King already. I don't want there to be too much New York. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. So
I'm sorry, I am right now literally sending it to the printer as we speak because I am really messing with time right now.
Oh, is there time to make changes?
No, please no.
Because I found some mistakes.
And no one's gonna know.
So, are you both you guys okay with me using these drawings for the book?
Hell yeah, why not?
Okay, so there will be some kind of a page rate at least, at the bare minimum.
It'd be great if someone saw this and wanted to make a mural. I think Bernard's will make a great mural somewhere in Chinatown. I think it'd be great. That sometimes they do have that graffiti stuff going up in Chinatown. Last time I went, they have stuff going up on the walls.
Honestly, guys, I'm so far over the budget. I'm now paying like quite literally over $1,000 out of my own pocket for this art show.
For what? What do you?
For prints, frames, everything.
Really?
Just like it's I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, hey, the thing is, I don't know how much money we make off of it, but you should just take it out of whatever profits come from this. I mean,
well, I wanted to discuss with you guys. I don't really care. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care about everyone else, but I feel like I can talk about it more openly with you guys and everyone listening on this.
Yeah, this is on the internet, so
yeah. Just don't spread it around.
Well, I've been thinking. I wanted to originally, have the prints signed and numbered and stuff like that, but fuck. Oh god damn it! I think I picked the wrong shipping. I should have paid for. But I'm thinking instead of that, because it's a lot of organizing, which I just don't have the time for. Give me one second. I just gotta write an email.
That's like a lot out of pocket.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot out of pocket. I mean, we can chip in. I thought it was being printed in New York. Anyways, I don't know if I like the Terminator eye on this.
But okay, so I was thinking instead of having them sign a number, because honestly, it's just too much for me to chase after everybody. I'm thinking we just sell the prints for like $25 each, normal price. They are textured paper. They are really, really freaking nice. Pearl River is going to take a cut from the sales, obviously, because they're, that's how they're going to make money. So would every artist be okay with just getting $10 per print sold? I mean, you guys aren't, investing any money. So this way, I could give 10 to Pearl River, then I could try to get 5 from each sale to recoup some of this money that I am spending.
Of course, whatever you need to get the money back.
Yeah, whatever.
And our art store is just going to sponsor this show and donate essentially a little over $1,000, or maybe, I don't know. It's going to be how many frames are we now at? I think 72 frames or something like that.
God.
72 frames for what?
Well, there's 8 artists. Each artist has 7 pieces. And then we're going to have to double up some of them for Chelsea Market and then for Pearl River. And then I also have to set up for the outdoor dining tables. So like I said, this artwork is going to be shown in 3 different places.
I thought only this piece was being framed.
No, they're all getting framed.
Do you need to do them all? Because I mean,
I already got all the frames. They're literally in my apartment, and I got I have quite literally about. There's 4 frames to a box, so I've got a lot of boxes to bring down myself. Then I've got to hang everything up myself. Then I've got to. I think I took on too much work, but I just got caught up in the moment because honestly, everyone's work looks so awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see each of these prints. When I say that they are like quite beautiful, I genuinely mean they are quite beautiful. The paper looks so cool. For everyone listening, all these prints from the art show, they're on this essentially cold pressed watercolor paper. So it's textured. It looks so nice.
Yeah, it has the texture to it. So it looks pretty thick. Yeah.
And the frames look pretty nice. I mean, I like to think I have a decent eye for this stuff, so it looks pretty good.
If people just just steal? I mean, no one's going to watch these all 24 hours. You have it at Chelsea Market. People can just will they take it and just
there's going to be so that's what all the bios are for and everything. So each piece will have our bio next to it, a little sign with our bio, I'm trying to decide because I'm going to go to tour Chelsea Market this Thursday. Sean, if you want to come, you don't have to by any means, but I'm going to go check out the space at Chelsea Market in particular so I can get a better understanding of exactly how much work we can hang up there, and then decide. Because I know right outside the Pearl River store, there's this huge wall, which is ours. And we're going to hang up everyone's Monkey King piece there. And then we also have other parts of Chelsea Market available to us. And then we'll have the dining area where they're going to have these acrylic blocks, which I'm actually pretty excited about. I know it sounds silly, but each acrylic block will be on each table, and each block will have one of our drawings with a bio of that artist. I think it's actually going to be pretty dope,
Where's the gallery opening going to take place?
The opening reception will be at the Chinatown store, the Soho store, as they say, because they have a gallery in the back. So that's where we'll have the liquor sponsor along with Rich Ho making some Taiwanese breakfast for everyone. He's going to have Fantuan ready for everybody.
Nice.
Honestly, it's going to be so much fun. And you know, you can go there, rub elbows with Cliff, Bernard, Sean, Jerome, Sue, everyone. You know, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and you know, so now that's, I mean, you guys know about the whole lab thing about getting you guys into the book. So I talked to the lab about it, and they are super excited to have you guys in the book. And so I'm going to throw their logo onto our promo material.
You're gonna get a. Sorry, go ahead.
It's going to be what?
You should get a mailing list when you're there.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to, the marketing person from the lab is going to try to start talking about the art show as well. So, you know, I actually think it's, I mean, look, it's just a little art show in Chinatown and Chelsea Market, but like, it's going to be pretty cool. And I actually think more people might see it than everyone realizes.
Well, yeah. We went the extra mile, man.
What's the deal with the Terminator? It's an awesome drawing, but why the Terminator?
D. Rogers,
I just rewatched this movie, by the way.
Old results.
You just watched the Terminator?
Yeah, I just, you know, while I was drawing, I had the Terminator on recently.
There's a video game coming out soon. A Terminator video game. So this was the subject for today.
Oh. Especially, I'm on cloud 9 today because I just got my money check from my investment of the restaurant Whole Food.
Nice.
Oh, really? But that's a profitable thing because I thought
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We're one of the few restaurants that make some money.
They've even expanding. They got a side. They took over the next door place.
Yeah, I'm thinking about having my 50th birthday there. I'll buy everyone dinner there.
When is
it? You're not 50 yet.
When is your birthday? August?
Yeah, but Bernard, you don't have to come to New York just for that.
I'll be back.
So I'm counting all my shillings here, and this is pretty cool.
I mean,
because see, this is what's bad. Just for everyone listening, I would not recommend investing in a restaurant that one of your closest friends opens, because I did not collect my money from last year because I was like, I'll just get it next time. Just get it next time. And then Rich called me like 2 weeks ago. He's like, hey, did you know you never got paid for last year? So I just got paid for 2 years, and it is pretty sweet.
Oh, let's go. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh,
I know you will.
We're going to
into the art show.
Turn it into Avalon.
Comes in, goes out, right back out.
Yeah. You know, like, so getting a liquor sponsor for everyone listening, for whatever event you plan on doing, it's not the hardest thing to do. Like, most likely you can get a liquor sponsor. The only problem is you have to do like a bunch of paperwork, and I'm just not that good at paperwork. So like, I was asking a couple people I know, and they're like, oh, you got to write a deck, explain why your event is worth them, you know, doing blah, blah, blah. But most likely, as long as it's legit, like, you'll get some liquor from their company. And I was like, oh God, like, I don't want to do all that. So I just texted my friend over at Campari. I was like, hey, what do you think of giving me some booze, some free booze for our art show? He's like, he always calls me Jerry Ma for some stupid reason. I don't know why he's got to say my last name. He's like, on one condition, Jerry Ma. He's like, we're going to go drinking when I hand you all the booze. So I have to go drinking with him when I accept all the liquor for the art show.
Wow, it sounds like a win-win.
It was way better than doing paperwork, you know.
Wow. So Cliff is done with his piece?
Yeah, he finished it a couple days ago.
Oh, cool.
You guys want me to email it to you right now?
Yeah. Always curious, but
I'm gonna have to add some more to my work then.
Yes. Yeah, he drew an aerial view of all of Chinatown. What he drew. Yeah, so.
Well, he you know, in fairness to Cliff, because you know, he really had to crank his out in like like a couple days. He had the most unfair time frame, but he really, at least to me, he it's great. And I was just shocked, when I just emailed it to you guys. When I was talking about with Cliff at Jerome's surprise birthday party, Cliff was like insulted that I didn't initially ask him,
I thought
my plan was first I was going to rope in Bernard because, well, I know I could guilt trip Bernard into doing it. Then I was going to rope in you, Sean, because I figured, you guys are kind of like
he's retired. So, yeah.
And then I was like, once you two are involved, I'm just going to sucker Jerome into it because, you guys are doing it too, right? And then I was like, once Jerome says yes, I'll ask Cliff. But then I just couldn't, I felt so guilty. I couldn't keep asking my friends.
Yeah, I assumed you asked Cliff, but Cliff would almost always say he's just too busy.
So I never asked Cliff. And then when we were, drinking at Jerome's birthday party, Cliff was like, why didn't you ask me? He's like, if you would have just asked me, it's like, I would have had more time. And like, it would have actually been easier for me, He's like, now I got to like knock this thing out in like the next 2 or 3 days. But he was like, but yeah, let's do it. He's like, it'll be fun. Let's do it, And then the next day I called Cliff. I was like, look, man, I'm never going to hold a man to his word when he's got like 4 drinks. And he's like, Cliff's like, no. He's like, I've already started. So Cliff was pretty awesome about it.
Yeah, that's a good get there. That's like you got like a real good group.
Well, I don't know if everyone here is familiar with like, I think everyone knows Sue Lee's work in this stream at least.
Yeah.
But Kimberly Wong, she's this awesome artist. She used to live up by our art store, and she just came into our store one day and was like, "Oh, I saw you guys are starting to sell comics here. Like, would you consider selling my graphic novel?" And it's called Thunder and Lightning for anyone interested. Kimberly Wong, Wang. It's super cool. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, a fantasy book. She's such a sweet person. I can't wait for everyone to meet her. I think her work is pretty cool. And then also, I might have twisted the rules a little bit, but my brother-in-law, Bernard's cousin, will also be in the art show. Pretty excited to have his work from Taipei. He's got his own interior design company in Taipei, so he is a pretty accomplished artist.
Coming out? Is Howard flying out?
So what?
Is Howard flying out for this?
He's going to try to, but the truth is at this point, I don't know if he can. It's like kind of close, Oh, James Quo even has Kimberly's book.
Wow, so people know her. Both Carson and James know.
Oh yeah, Carson too. Yeah, she's so cool. And it's just so random how I met her just at our art store, And like I've only actually physically met her like maybe 3 times. So she was at the Mocha show when I was there, and she came to say hi to me. I could not recognize. She had a mask on too, so like I did not know. She was staring at me for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "This is getting a little awkward." And then she finally introduced herself to me, and it was just so cool to see her again after all this time. And really, like I think this art show is, the more I look at everyone's work, because I literally bought those what do you call those, poly bags for every print, and me and Ivy, it took us like freaking 3 hours to poly bag all the prints, but they look so awesome.
Cool, that's great.
When is it? May 1st?
May 1st. So I think, let me give you the exact details. It's going to be up for Asian Heritage Month at Chelsea Market from May 1st to, I believe, the end of May. But it will be in the Pearl River Gallery from May 1st to August 24th.
Oh, August.
And yeah, so during that duration of time, each artist, I believe, is invited to, sell some of your work at the store. You guys can each, work the logistics out of that with Pearl River. but I would take advantage of it. This is how I ended up selling a bunch of T-shirts through Pearl River, and they've been so awesome about reordering and just like making sure that it's profitable for everybody. They've been carrying a few designs of my T-shirts, a lot of my books, prints, everything. It's been very helpful.
I'm just hoping the right person will come by and we'll see the Bernard Chang mural get put up.
Yeah, this thing should be blown up, and it should be bigger than 11 by 17. Damn it!
Oh, it's only.
Well, we
gonna
know
be,
a guy that does banners.
It's only going to be 11 by 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're prints. Yeah.
Oh.
See, I knew even though I dropped all this cash on this art show, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's it."
You can get Mike McGuire to make a banner.
But it'll also be in my book coming out, so you'll get some extra legs on it.
Aren't they? What about the advertising? You said there was a wall that this stuff was going to go on. Right?
Well, then we'd have to make large prints, and those take longer to make. And the truth is, it just came in too late. We would have had to send those out a little bit earlier. So it got difficult just because all the pieces were coming. They were all staggered in. I think Sean is like the only person that actually met the actual due date. Sean,
I was kind of scared when you said March 31st, not April 1st. I was like, oh, he means business. I was kind of scared. Right?
I thought when he added Cliff, there was extra time.
Yes.
Because I was like, all right, Cliff, I was like, so part of the thing when I was talking about with Cliff, I was like, I guess for you, since, Cliff's helped me a lot and everything, I was like, I will go to the show early the day of May 1st and hang your piece only. Turns out.
You want me to help hang? I can help hang on the 30th.
Well, what's making this a little bit harder for me is April 26th and 27th, the weekend before, the Saturday, Sunday before the art show. I'm going to be at the goddamn Brooklyn Independent Comic, whatever, Bix at Industry City.
Wasn't that this weekend?
Oh, that's right.
No, April 26th and 27th. So I'm going to have to try to figure out when I can go to Pearl River to do the hanging. I'm thinking April 25th, the Friday before, and try to get most of it up, and then show up maybe the day before the art show and do the rest or something. I don't know. But I was hoping to get some books from everyone because they're going to have like a counter display inside the gallery. I want to put some of everyone's books inside so that they could, and if you guys are selling the books at the store, then people will know like, oh, okay, these are from the artists in the art show, and they can go get those books then.
Yeah, I could bring some Monkey Prince books.
So those are books for sale, right? Not.
Yes, correct. But we'll put like one on display, and then they'll sell the rest. You know what I mean? I mean, we do have a couple weeks. Should I try to make one big banner of all the pieces?
Well, I know a guy that makes these banners, and I think he can get a deal. It kind of we'll just do it like on demand, on a day's notice type thing.
I mean, how much is it going to cost?
Yeah, I can ask him, but I mean, this guy does the banners for a lot of shows here.
I mean, there's eight pieces.
Well, you really only need one, right? It's just that one Bernard one.
You gotta do Jerry's piece.
I did mine so long ago. After seeing everyone's drawings, I'm like, oh man, I want to redraw mine.
That's the thing. Like Bernard should have done his first, and then everyone would be like, they'd still be drawing now, trying to put all these Easter eggs in.
Well, Sorry,
The
it took
guy
so
you
long.
drew holding the notepad all the way in the center at the top,
Yeah.
he really looks like one of the guys that used to be one of the owners of Hopkey,
Oh yeah.
Peter Reed. Yeah, he's such a great guy. I
All
want
of
to
those
show him the
faces,
drawing.
they're archetypes you would see in a dim sum place, like all those like very jaded people that push the cart around with
Yeah,
like
even
hunched
the
over
hunch.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ladies. Did you see the chibi clones, the Monkey King clones?
Yeah, they're so cool.
They're playing 101. Did you know that the Pigsy is originally black, but in the popular TV movie versions, they
Yeah, pigs are pink in America, like Peppa Pig, Babe the pig.
all right. Well, I think Jamie Odell will be there definitely.
You better be there.
No Hop Key. I've been to Hop Key. That's the one that's underneath, right? Below ground.
Yeah, in the
Downstairs.
basement.
That's
They were one of the restaurants that I gave a red envelope to during COVID for the Monkey King Kickstarter.
Yeah. Are they still around?
And yeah. The second I gave them that envelope, they were first confused why I was giving them money. And then they were just like, all right, fuck it. Drinks are on us. And they just like...
I was thinking about doing Hop Key, because it's such a because you got to go underneath and inside of that
Anthony
place.
Bourdain even did a thing there.
Yeah. Well,
And Cliff Chang's picture is down there, right?
They took it down recently.
Oh no.
next time.
But Cliff put in the Hopkey shout out in his drawing.
Oh, he did?
Figures, yeah. It's his
Yeah.
friggin' profile pic on Instagram. It's just the Hopkey storefront.
What did Cliff
Oh,
do?
Well, he emailed it to us, right?
Yeah.
And you can do the your favorite place, the Duck House.
Yeah, maybe we gotta do this annually.
James Crow would rather celebrate his wedding anniversary on May 1st than come to our art show.
Oh,
Come on,
Get,
James Crow.
get your priorities
We
straight.
celebrate the anniversary at our art show. That's what you do.
You can bring the little lady. It's okay. All right, let's get out of here. I need to go to sleep. Who should we? Sean, you want to text me a letter of the alphabet?
Or,
Let's open up this to everybody in chat today. Thank you for watching. Oh shoot, we're 3 hours in. It's 12:30. Let's get out of here. Everybody in chat, type in a letter of the alphabet.
Can you add some like color into this Terminator?
yes. That would be great. It would really sing if you put color in there.
Yeah, if you just put like a little red in his
A little
robot
red in
eye.
his eye, right?
It only take another hour.
Type in a letter. It's open to anybody in chat right now. All right, well, whatever you can do, we can do to make this show profitable for you. You're not losing money.
Just cut Jerry a check for all this hard work.
And then you're gonna talk to Mike, Sean.
Oh yeah, I can reach out to him and then get some prices. Like when you talk about a banner, it's like that canvas thing, right? Or like what are you thinking? Paper or what? And then what size? What happened, Jerry?
Jerry.
I'm trying. I don't know. I gotta see the space on Thursday, but I'm pretty sure we have like a lot of space. Plus, we could even. I wanted to do something cool, even at the gallery store. Back in 2020, when I had my art show, I had one wall of just the red envelope prints, and it looked so cool, just like all lined up. So it'd be nice to do something cool like that, but you're sacrificing all those prints because they're going to get a little roughed up. If we had one big banner thing, that would be pretty awesome. Or I always like it when it's like paper mounted on foam board or something.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if canvas is fine too, we just have to. I mean, then we gotta. It's a little bit harder to hang up.
Yeah, I think he usually makes those banners you see at conventions with the grommets. So they're usually the sign that says Artist Alley. He does that stuff. But and probably does other things too. But yeah, we have to talk about like the scope of it, because I think he does like a lot of stuff practically for free if it's just like a one-off thing. But if you're talking about like 8, then that's a job. I don't know what that'll turn out to be.
Well, we could try. I could try to do one big thing with everyone's piece on it.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe even if you have to look at the space first, you can kind of determine the
with
size.
Bernard's, I'm just gonna do it like of one of the dumplings, and everything else get cut out.
Do the chibi.
Focus in on one of the chibis.
No, do one of the. Do the. I like the lady on the far right with the.
I like her too. She's awesome.
With the Hong Kong kind of curly fro, the perm.
The success perm.
Yeah, the success perm. This is a perfect audience for that piece, because I think a lot of people will get all the jokes, the inside jokes. So it's right in the heart of where.
I like the lady putting her thumb into the food on the far left.
Both of them are touching the food. Okay, Bullet Concerto. Yeah, all the ladies, like, she got a thumb in the rice shrimp thing, and then the other one. Okay, let's Lurky Lurk. Let's lock it up. Lurky Lurk's the last one. Bullet Concerto. Welcome to the stream. Nobody guessed it, but it's the closest one without going over. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, N, O, P, Q, R.
Without going over.
Yeah, because R. Oh, well, what did you say? It was
the letter
R?
was R.
R. Look at this. Okay. Bullet Concerto has Q. D. Rogers has S. And this is D. Rogers' suggestion. What do we do?
Oh, wow.
What do we do? D. Rogers.
Well, one has paid his dues, and one is a first-time chatter.
Yeah, I think we got to give it to D. Rogers. All right, D. Rogers.
After you add some red into his robot eye.
Yeah.
I'm going to fall asleep. Who is Bullet Concerto? Is Bullet Concerto in the domestic United States?
Yeah, that might be
it should be whoever answered first then.
Well, D. Rogers answered first. That's a good twist.
Yeah.
Bullet Concerto.
Oh, he's saying he finally won. D. Rogers never won before.
D. Rogers never won one?
56 months. 56 months, and I finally won.
This is the first one that D. Rogers has won? Really? Wow.
Yeah, that can't be.
He's too busy in his tropical paradise backyard.
Oh, let's see. Bullet Concerto is being a real mensch there. I think that's real decent of you.
Right,
I'm not going to fight for it.
Bullet Concerto, I'll send you some stickers if you want. If you're in the U.S., if you're not, then with these postal
You're on your own.
Fuck that.
We don't want no friggin' foreigners anyway.
Whoa. Sean.
I mean, I've just been hearing it in the news a lot, so that's
MAGA Sean. I'm gonna have to put a red cap on your Okay, D. Rogers. Let me write it on the back. Bullet Concerto, DM me on Instagram, and I'll shoot you a consolation prize.
Oh, that's cool.
So okay, Jerry, you got anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No. Happy holidays, everybody.
Sean, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Our big show, right? May 1st. That's only a few weeks away.
May
A few
1st.
weeks.
Is it?
We're gonna stream before that, right? Come on.
3 weeks? We're still 3 weeks out, right? I gotta buy my airplane.
Yeah,
ticket.
right after that, Forest Hills Comic Con, and then Free Comic Book Day. So I
And
have
the
3
Bix
things.
Industry City Comic Con, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who should we raid? Ooh. My sinus just cleared up. Who should we raid? Happy holidays. Who should we raid? Anybody? Amarath?
Oh, James Quo said, Bird Ninja Art. Oh, did we go there before? Bird Ninja Art.
Bird
Ninja Art. One word.
Ninja Art. Okay. Bird Ninja Art. Happy holidays, everyone. See you guys next week.
Happy holidays.
Oh, man, I gotta pee. Oh, did we raid yet? Oh, gotta pee.
It's going through, but
I got a pee jug up here. I can just pee up here. I don't have to go down.
oh, you use a pee jug? Oh my god, it's your own house.